had a very interesting journey with my fertility and finding out that I am quote-unquote infertile, which is what we are discussing today. I would just like us to have an open conversation and to also just remove the stigma that surrounds infertility. Mama put me on. Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Pashane and welcome to my channel. So I am starting a little series on my channel. I don't know how long it's gonna last, but I would just like to share more on the topic of women's health. More specifically, women's fertility, or rather women's reproductive health and mental health as well. So I would just like to make a disclaimer before I start with this video, just to say that I am not a doctor or a reproductive specialist, nor am I a mental health practitioner. Everything that I share in my videos is purely from my own research and from knowledge that I've gathered through doing my undergraduate degree in psychology and my honors in counseling psychology. Today I will be opening up the platform to make space for women that are suffering with infertility, or women that are experiencing symptoms of infertility, or just women that want to find out more about their reproductive systems and reproductive health. To start off this video, I would just like to share a statistic with you from the World Health Organization. And this statistic states that 1 in 6 people of reproductive age all over the world experience infertility. With this being said, I've become even more inspired and encouraged to share about this topic on my channel, even though I am not a specialist. However, I know that this is a very sour or sensitive topic for many people, especially females. I felt inspired to share about this topic because it's something that I have experienced firsthand and something that affects me as well as a woman. Before we start, I would just like to read to you guys a definition of what infertility is. According to the World Health Organization, infertility is the failure to achieve pregnancy after 12 months or more of regular unprotected sexual intercourse, and it can present in both male and female reproductive systems. However, on my channel I will be speaking strictly about women's infertility and how it affects women and their bodies, just so that I can help put our minds at ease as well, or maybe just put my own mind at ease as well. If you are watching this video and you do struggle from infertility and you think that it's the end, or you think that it's your fault, most of the time it's genuinely not your fault. There are certain things that do happen and that do happen naturally in a woman's body that can cause infertility. I'm going to share the 4 categories of causes of infertility in women. The number 1 category is tubal disorders. So an example of tubal disorders would be something like blocked fallopian tubes. Another example of tubal disorders would be untreated STIs. Number 2 is uterine disorders. This includes things such as endometriosis and fibroids. Number 3 is disorders of the ovaries. This includes things such as polycystic ovarian syndrome and other disorders of the ovaries, such as what I suffered from, which caused me to have my ovaries completely removed. And the 4th is disorders of the endocrine system causing imbalances of reproductive hormones. Now, from these 4 categories that I've shared, only the first category includes a disorder that could have possibly been the fault of the individual that is suffering it, which is untreated STIs. Of course, not everyone knows about STIs and how to go about getting treatment or getting checked for them. However, if you do leave it untreated when it is showing you symptoms and it does end up causing you infertility issues, there is kind of something that you could have done to stop it. However, with all of the categories that I've mentioned, most of the time infertility is not your fault. So I want to take this time, after looking at the causes of infertility, to appeal to whoever it is that is watching this video that is maybe blaming themselves for being in a situation where their doctor has told them that they cannot fall pregnant, or that they are infertile. I just want to let you know that it is not your fault. Not only is it not your fault, it's also not something to be ashamed of. As I have mentioned at the top of this video, 1 in 6 people of reproductive age actually suffer from infertility or experience infertility at some point in time of their lives. So just like any other diseases and disorders that we do have, infertility is treatable. And I hope that this is something that can give you hope as someone who has recently found out that they are suffering from infertility, or that is assuming that they are suffering from infertility and they are not too sure. This is a video that I hope will inspire you to get the help that you need and to know that there are treatments out there that are gonna offer you the opportunity to actually have kids or to be settled in your reproductive system. So there are 2 solutions to the 4 categories of causes that I've mentioned about infertility. The first is ART, or rather assisted reproduction technologies, and the other one is IVF, which is in vitro fertilization. So even though these are solutions to infertility, they are not easily accessible to everyone, and not only are they not easily accessible to anyone, even if they are accessible, or you do have the opportunity to go and see a specialist, a fertility specialist that specializes in these things, it's not an easy journey, and it is also a very expensive journey. However, it is something that does offer people that still want to have children the opportunity to have children. So just to make this more personal, for someone like me, for instance, so my infertility falls under the category of disorders of the ovaries. In my situation, I no longer have ovaries, however, I do still have my womb. An option for me to actually have children would, number 1, obviously be adoption, which is an option that we all have, whether you are infertile or not. And the second option would be to do IVF. And how I would do IVF is by actually getting an egg donor and having that egg fertilized, and then having the egg inserted in my uterus through in vitro fertilization. So that is just an option that I would have as a person with no ovaries. There is someone that I met recently who shared with me that they have their fallopian tubes are basically blocked, so their eggs cannot make their way into their womb or their uterus. So for someone like that, a solution would be IVF, so basically using their own eggs from their own ovaries to fertilizing them and then having them inserted back into their womb through in vitro fertilization. So that is just some examples of things that can be done with fertility issues that I know about or have heard about firsthand. Of course, this video doesn't cover every single nook and cranny about fertility and things like that. However, I hope that it can be a start into opening up the conversation about fertility in women. I guess for me, the biggest thing is to remove the stigma of infertility, and to also just let you know that as a woman that is going through infertility struggles or issues, or even if you are on your IVF journey, this is a video that is out there to let you know that you are not alone. And I'm also hoping that we can create a safe space down in the comments, and we can comment our experiences with infertility and maybe emotions that we've gone through, and also just giving some encouragement to people who are going through a similar journey or who think that they are going through a similar journey. The reason why I want to have this up on my channel is just so that I can inspire other women to share their stories. But not only that, it's also so that I can just open up the platform for people who are seeking support. So to have a community of people that are sharing about the resources that they are finding or things that help them during their journey of infertility or dealing with infertility. So if you like this video and you'd like to see more videos like this, I hope that you will leave a like and that you will leave a comment of how you found the video and if it was helpful for you. I would like to say again that this is something new that I'm trying out on my channel, so I'm trying to keep the videos quite short and sweet so that they don't overwhelm anyone, including myself, but also so that they deal with specific things and it's short enough so that you can absorb it and go and do your own research as well. I do urge you to take everything that I say with a grain of salt, as it is purely from my experience and the experiences of people that have shared with me and just some of the research that I've done. Another thing that I wanted to encourage you to do, if you are one of the people that is on the journey of figuring out their fertility struggles, first and foremost is whenever you are posed with the statement that you can't fall pregnant, or the statement that you can't have kids, or that you are infertile, I would like to urge you to ask whatever doctor that is giving you that message. I would like to urge you to ask them to either give you a referral to a specialist or to give you a breakdown of the options that are available to you in order to have children at a certain point in time. And sometimes I do understand that it's not just about the ability of having children or to have children. Sometimes it's just a concern for your own health, and therefore I do urge you to, if you're not able to get questions answered by your health professional that you're dealing with in that moment, and they're not able to give you a referral, I do encourage you to please seek a second opinion. Because from my experience, gynecologists do have a certain tendency to kind of not share the whole picture with you. What do I mean by saying that? For instance, with me, in my journey with my fertility, while finding out that I'm infertile, I've had 2 gynecologists, and of those 2 gynecologists, the first one I feel did me dirty in terms of they didn't share with me the whole picture of what was going on. Instead of alerting me of what was going on and the fact that I was bordering on infertility, they just kept telling me to keep coming to them and come to them if I wanted to have kids and things like that. Whereas had I been told at the beginning of my journey in 2020, had I been told the full scope of what was going on with my body, I feel like I could have taken the right steps in time to actually be able to do things like harvest my eggs and also just to go and consult with a fertility specialist whilst I had the time. So that's basically the reason why I would like to encourage you guys to seek out the second opinion and to ask questions. I know it's very odd and uncomfortable to ask a lot of questions because sometimes you just don't know what questions to ask, and sometimes you are in shock. But I would urge you to, when you've gathered the courage, or even if you haven't gathered the courage, to just push yourself to ask the relevant questions. Like, even if you feel like it's a stupid question, ask the question. Even if you feel like, for instance, like how I felt in 2020 when my gynae was going on about like, when are you gonna have kids and things like that, I genuinely felt like, why is this person pestering me about having kids? Just because for me it was like, this is something of like the future. It's something that I'm not thinking about yet. It's something that I'm probably not even going to consider in my life. So why would I worry? But I would say rather be informed than to turn a blind eye and not know what's going on, and then later on find out that there could have been steps that you could have taken to help yourself. Anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. This is something new, so it is also a little bit weird for me and a little bit uncomfortable, but I am going to carry on with this series on my channel, and I'm going to look further into the topic of fertility and mental health to support those who are having fertility struggles. So if you like this video and you'd like to see more videos from me, I hope that you'll subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching.
Mama put me on, มาเพื่อไม่